Welcome to the Smart Business Show, episode 45. Today we're going to talk about hard conversation with clients. They're going to happen. You're going to have a time when you'll miss a deadline. Maybe you'll miss a deadline, then miss a second deadline, and then miss something else. And the client's going to be mad. Sometimes they're going to ask for stuff that you feel is clearly out of scope. This was never included. And the budget is going to need to increase as far as you're concerned. Whatever the specifics are, doesn't actually matter. They'll change from time to time. But you're going to have that conversation in many projects, actually, especially the little scope change thing. And that conversation is going to feel awkward with the client. Here are some tips to help make them go better. The first one is don't delay. Waiting 3 weeks for it to happen and kind of shuffling papers around and answering non-urgent emails instead of dealing with it is of no help whatsoever. The client's just going to get more angry. That's not what you want. Second, don't get defensive. This is not the time for you to start pointing your finger at your client and say, well, this is your fault and this is terrible and you've done this and you've done this, and that's not the time for it. This is a time for you to be humble, to listen to the client intently, and to empathize with their situation. They have given you money, which they probably feel you've taken in error. You have stole it from them because you're not delivering. This is the point that I struggle with most, actually, is I get defensive. It is very easy for me to get defensive, which is funny because when I talk with my wife, and maybe it's because I care for her more than I care for some of my clients, as I should, I am very good at not getting defensive. At least I think I am. Maybe we'd have to ask her for sure. But that's the second point. Don't get defensive, empathize with their situation, and be humble. The third one is apologize and mean it. So don't just empathize with them and say, oh, okay, good, and then move forward to the point 4, which we'll talk about in a second. But actually say, sorry, I'm really sorry. You're right. I've done this. We're behind the deadline. And then we move on to point 4, which is have a plan to get the project back on track that you can actually commit to. Not some airy-fairy, well, I think we'll get it done in the next 5 days. You can expect this deliverable tomorrow. You can expect this next deliverable the day after. Have that plan. Lots of times the client just wants to see forward progress again. If they're behind the deadline, they're okay with it most of the time. They just want to see forward progress. Maybe it's going to take another month, and so the project will be a couple months late. But if you continually are making progress, they're like, hey, he's working on it. That's good. I'm seeing progress. I'm happy. So those hard conversations are going to happen. Use these 4 tips to make them at least easier. Thanks for watching.